Good morning, dear friends. As we gather here today in spirit and in faith, let us pause for a moment to reflect on the beauty and grace that surrounds us each morning. There is an undeniable power that comes with starting our day with worship and gratitude. It is in these quiet moments, perhaps with a cup of coffee in hand, that we can invite God into our hearts and lives. This is a reminder that every day is a gift, and every step we take can be blessed when we acknowledge His presence in our lives. Let's turn to Psalm 118:24, which says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." What a beautiful proclamation! Each morning, God gifts us a fresh start, a new canvas to paint our lives upon. It speaks to the importance of our mindset as we rise to face the day. In a world that often rushes us or weighs us down with worries, this psalm is a gentle nudge to embrace the morning with joy and expectation. It reminds us that no matter what challenges may arise, each day is filled with opportunities to experience God's goodness and mercy. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves caught up in the hustle and bustle. Whether it's John rushing to get his kids ready for school in Texas, or Emily trying to beat the morning traffic in California. However, taking a moment to worship and acknowledge God can transform our perspective. Perhaps Sarah, who lives in Florida, might wake up feeling overwhelmed by the demands of work and family. Yet, when she takes a deep breath and says a simple prayer of thanks, she opens herself to the blessings that await her that day. Consider the story of Joshua in the Bible. After the Israelites wandered in the desert, they were finally on the brink of entering the Promised Land. God reassured Joshua with the words, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Joshua 1:9. This promise was not only for Joshua, but extends to each of us. Preserve the original language of God walks with us through our journeys. By starting our day with worship, we are setting the tone for our path ahead, similar to how Joshua prepared the people for what was to come. Just as the sun rises each morning in New York, casting light across the bustling streets, so too can our spirits rise when we devote a few moments to worship. Worshiping in the morning invites God's presence to guide our thoughts and actions throughout the day. It might be as simple as thanking Him for the blessings we often take for granted, like the laughter of a loved one or a beautiful sunrise. This daily ritual sets a foundation of peace and purpose. Imagine David, heading off to work in the busy streets of Chicago, taking a moment before he leaves to pray and invite God's guidance. By acknowledging God first thing in the morning, he opens his heart to experience the divine in his interactions, decisions, and even the challenges he might face. In these early moments of worship, we can invite God to bless our every endeavor. Whether we are meeting deadlines, tackling parenting challenges, or navigating through relationships, knowing God is with us transforms our approach. Think of Michael, who might be stepping into a tough meeting in New York. Before he enters the conference room, a brief moment of prayer helps him center himself. It reminds him that God has equipped him for this moment. The assurance that God is present can help us face anything the day throws our way. So, as we reflect on Psalm 118:24, let us remember to rejoice not only in the perfect moments, but also in the trials that shape us. Each step we take can be a testament to God's faithfulness. Just as a morning shower refreshes our bodies, worship refreshes our spirits. It washes away the doubts and fears that cling to us, allowing us to step boldly into the day ahead. Friends, let us make it a habit to greet each day with worship. Whether it be through a song, a simple prayer, or reading the Word, starting our mornings with God sets us on a path to experience His blessings. As we share this journey together, let us encourage one another to find those moments of worship that draw us closer to Him and prepare us for the beautiful day that lies ahead. In the sacredness of this morning, may we find joy in every step we take, trusting that God will bless our journey. Let's hold on to the promise of His presence, knowing that each day is an opportunity to walk in His grace.
As we prepare to dive deeper into our worship, let us keep our hearts open and ready to receive the fullness of His love and blessing. May our lives reflect the joy of acknowledging God in every detail, big and small. As we reflect on the beauty of His creation, we find joy in every step we take, trusting that God will bless our journey. Let's hold on to the promise of His presence, knowing that each day is an opportunity to walk in His grace. As we prepare to dive deeper into our worship, let us keep our hearts open and ready to receive the fullness of His love and blessing. May our lives reflect the joy of acknowledging God in every detail, big and small. Remember, even in our struggles, there is grace. Even in our doubts, there is hope. We are never alone on this journey of faith, for His light shines brightly upon us, guiding our way. As we gather in this moment of worship, let us take a deep breath and center ourselves in the presence of God. Even as our lives unfold in bustling cities like New York or quiet corners of Texas, we can find peace in knowing that every moment is a chance to honor and adore our Creator. Let us turn our hearts toward the infinite love that God has for each of us, knowing that in our worship we are aligning ourselves with His divine purpose. Picture a sunny morning in California, where the golden rays of the sun pierce through the trees, reminding us of God's warmth and tenderness. Just as the sun shines on all of creation, so too does God's love embrace each of us wherever we are. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves caught up in routines that can sometimes overshadow the beauty of worship. Whether it's John commuting to work in Florida or Mary preparing breakfast for her family in California, there are moments where we might overlook the sacredness that God provides in our everyday tasks. But worship doesn't have to be confined to a specific time or place. It can be woven into the very fabric of our daily activities. As we wash the dishes or drive our kids to school, we can find opportunities to lift our hearts in adoration, acknowledging the presence of God in every task. Remember the story of how David danced before the Lord with all his might? This moment of pure worship illustrates that adoration can often be found in the simplest expressions, the joy of living, the gratitude for His blessings. David, a king and a humble shepherd, recognized that everything he had was a gift from God. In our own lives, we can take a page from David's book, whether it's Sarah enjoying a quiet moment with her coffee or Michael taking a stroll through the park. We can remember to celebrate God's goodness. The Bible teaches us that God inhabits the praises of His people, Psalm 22:3. And as we offer our adoration, we invite Him into our lives in profound ways. In moments of worship, we also open ourselves to a deeper connection with each other and with our community. Just as the leaves of Florida's palm trees sway in the breeze, so too are we encouraged to move together with love and grace. When we gather together and share our experiences, we become a living testament to God's love. Let's take a moment to reflect on how our individual journeys intertwine. Emily may have faced trials in her job search, but by leaning into God's presence and finding support within our community, she discovers strength. Together, we can lift each other up, reminding each other that we are never alone in our struggles. As we continue in worship, let us also consider the beauty of creation around us, from the mountains of Texas to the beaches of Florida. When we take a moment to admire the world God has made, we cannot help but be filled with awe and adoration. The creation story is not simply a tale from the past. It reflects God's ongoing work in our lives today. The flowers blooming in spring are reminders of His beauty, and the gentle rain that nourishes the earth is a symbol of His provision. Just as He cares for the birds of the air and the lilies of the field, so too does He care for us. Matthew 6:26-28. When we worship, we recognize that we are part of something much larger, His grand design. Worship is more than just words. It is a lifestyle of surrender and gratitude. As David penned in Psalm 95, "Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation." This call to worship encompasses all aspects of our lives. In the midst of grocery shopping or running errands, we can pause and acknowledge God's presence. When we take a moment to express our gratitude, we align our hearts with His purpose, transforming mundane tasks into sacred acts of worship. As we stand together in this moment, let us encourage each other to join in adoration. Reach out to those around you, whether in your home or through this online community, and share the ways in which God has shown His love to you. Perhaps it was in a moment of laughter with friends, or a quiet sunrise that reminded you of His faithfulness. Your stories are valuable and vital to our collective experience of worship. If this prayer and reflection have touched your heart, I invite you to be part of something special. At the end of this worship session, please subscribe to our channel. Joining our family means you will receive inspiring messages and prayers that can uplift your spirit every day. We want to hear from you. Do not hesitate to leave your prayer requests in the comments. Together, as a community, we can lift each other up in prayer. Your voice matters, and your prayers are important because together we are stronger. If this prayer has resonated with you, know that we are here for you, ready to stand in the gap and pray alongside you. Let us embrace the truth that we are not alone in this journey. Each step we take in worship draws us closer to the heart of God and to one another. Just like the waves of the ocean wash upon the shore, bringing life and renewal, our worship brings us closer to His presence. In our adoration, we find strength, purpose, and the assurance that God will bless every step we take throughout the day. May your heart be filled with His love, and may you carry that love into every moment of your life. As we continue to immerse ourselves in this sacred moment of worship, let us acknowledge the immense love that God pours into our lives each day. Every morning is a fresh start, a blank canvas waiting for us to paint it with our intentions, actions, and love. Just as the sun rises over New York City, casting warmth and light, so too does God's grace illuminate our path. In our adoration, we find renewal, and we are reminded of the countless ways He blesses us. When we offer our praise, we align our hearts with His purpose, ensuring that our actions throughout the day reflect His goodness. Think about the simple acts of kindness that fill our everyday lives. When Mary smiles at a stranger in the grocery store in Florida, she embodies the love of Christ. Her friendliness becomes a small yet powerful form of worship. Each time we extend a hand to help a neighbor or offer a word of encouragement to a friend, we are participating in an act of adoration. These moments, though often overlooked, are opportunities to glorify God and to share His light with the world around us. Scripture tells us in Colossians 3:23 to work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men. So let us embrace our daily tasks as acts of worship, dedicating our work to Him and inviting His blessings upon it. As we reflect on our lives, let's remember the story of the widow's offering in the Gospel of Mark. Though she gave only 2 small coins, Jesus recognized her act as the greatest of all because she gave out of her poverty, putting her complete trust in God. Her example inspires us to consider what it means to worship wholeheartedly. Often, it is not about the magnitude of our offerings or actions, but rather the intent behind them. As David and Sarah gather with their family for a simple meal in Texas, they take a moment to express gratitude, recognizing that every meal shared is a gift from God. Their act of thanksgiving becomes an expression of adoration, celebrating His provision in their lives. In our worship, we are reminded that even the smallest acts can carry profound significance. Emily, while commuting to work in California, decides to take a different route, opting to stop and pick up coffee for a colleague who has been having a rough week. This small gesture not only brightens her colleague's day, but also serves as a reminder of the unexpected ways God works through us. When we yield to His Spirit, we find that our lives can become instruments of peace and hope for those around us. In this way, our mundane routines transform into sacred moments of adoration. As we go about our day, let us not shy away from expressing our love for God in our thoughts, words, and deeds. Worship is not confined to the walls of a church. It spills into every corner of our lives. When Michael helps out at the local shelter, he is not just performing an act of service, he is embodying the loving spirit of Jesus. He knows that through his efforts, he is embracing the heart of God. Each moment spent in service is a moment spent in worship, and each life touched is a testament to God's love flowing through us. In the hustle and bustle of life, we might forget that our connection to God is always available to us, beckoning us to pause and worship. Let us take a moment amid our busy schedules to breathe deeply and remember who we are in Him. We are His beloved children, deserving of His love and grace. When we acknowledge His presence in our daily lives, we find peace that surpasses all understanding, as promised in Philippians 4:7. Our worries and concerns begin to fade when we choose to focus on Him instead. As the day unfolds, consider how you can make worship a priority in your life. Perhaps you can begin or end your day with a simple prayer of gratitude. John might find himself in his office in New York, taking a brief moment before diving into work to acknowledge God's presence. He whispers a prayer, thanking God for the gift of a new day and for the opportunities that lie ahead. This small practice allows him to center his thoughts and reminds him of the sacredness of his work. It's also essential to acknowledge that adoration can be communal. When we gather with fellow believers, whether in church or in small groups, we create a space for collective worship. David, along with his friends, meets regularly for a Bible study in their Texas home. They share their struggles and victories, lifting each other up in prayer and adoration. These gatherings strengthen their faith and deepen their connection with God and one another. Together, they experience the beauty of worship, knowing that where 2 or 3 are gathered, He is in their midst. As we continue our journey today, let us hold on to the promise that God is with us. Every step we take is blessed when we walk in faith and worship Him. We may encounter challenges, but even amidst the trials, we can choose to glorify God. As Sarah walks through difficult moments at work, she remembers to lean on His strength. In her heart, she whispers praise, asking for guidance and finding comfort in knowing she is not alone. Every tough day becomes an opportunity for adoration, as we trust His plan even when we cannot see the way forward. So as we move forward, let us make a conscious effort to infuse our days with worship in all that we do. Whether it's through our words, our actions, or even our quiet moments of reflection, let our hearts resonate with adoration for God. In doing so, we position ourselves to receive the blessings that He promises, trusting that He will guide us with His loving hand. May each moment of our lives be a testimony of His goodness, declaring His splendor to the world around us. We are called to be vessels of His love, bringing hope and light to those we encounter each day. May our hearts be filled with His. As we continue in this beautiful journey of worship, let us remember the profound impact that an attitude of reverence can have on our daily lives. Just as the sun rises each morning, bringing light and warmth, our worship can illuminate the hearts of those around us, reflecting the love of Jesus in all we do. Think of a time when you felt truly grateful for something, a simple act of kindness perhaps. It could have been a neighbor, like Michael, who mowed your lawn after a long week, or Sarah, who brought over a homemade pie just to brighten your day. These moments of grace remind us that just as God blesses us with His gifts, we too are called to share His love in tangible ways. In Psalm 100, we are reminded, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands." This call to worship is not merely about singing hymns or attending church, it is a lifestyle. When we embrace this attitude, even our mundane tasks can become acts of worship. When John goes to work in New York, he can do so with an open heart, viewing his responsibilities as a way to honor God. Whether he's engaging with colleagues or helping a customer, each interaction can be saturated with his grace if approached with love and kindness. Imagine Emily, a teacher in Texas, who stands before her classroom each day. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of the school year, she chooses to see each student as a gift from God. When she offers them encouragement, she is not just fulfilling her role as a teacher, she is reflecting God's love. Every smile, every word of affirmation becomes an echo of worship. In these small yet significant moments, we can feel the presence of Jesus guiding and leading us through our day. Worship is also about being mindful. It's about taking a moment to pause and reflect. When we drive to work, instead of rushing through our commute, let's tune in to a worship song that stirs our hearts. As we listen, we can offer our thoughts, our concerns, and our praises to God,
knowing that He hears us. Even the act of driving can transform into a sacred moment of connection with our Creator. In those spaces of quiet, we can remind ourselves of His promises, such as in Isaiah 40:31, which assures us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength." This is our reminder that worship not only honors Him, but rejuvenates our spirits. David's heart was one of worship, and he frequently expressed his love for God through song and poetry. When we reflect on his life, we see a model of how to face struggles with a heart of praise. In 1 Samuel 16:23, we learn that when David played his harp, the evil spirit left Saul. This highlights the transformative power of worship. It can bring peace to our hearts and those around us. When we embody worship, we too can become instruments of peace in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain. Let's not forget the importance of community in our worship. Just as the early church gathered together in prayer and fellowship, we are called to uplift one another. Imagine a gathering in Mary's home in Florida, where friends come together, sharing stories of God's faithfulness over coffee and laughter. Each testimony shared is an act of worship as they give glory to God for His work in their lives. This fellowship strengthens our faith and reminds us of the collective adoration we share for Him. As we navigate our daily routines, let us intentionally infuse our activities with worship. Perhaps you could turn a simple chore, like washing the dishes, into a moment of gratitude. Reflect on the nourishment you received from the meal you shared with loved ones, or the joy of gathering around the table. In those moments, lift a prayer of thanks, recognizing that each blessing comes from God. This simple shift in perspective can transform our hearts and deepen our connection with Him. And as we worship, let us also open our eyes to the needs of those around us. Sometimes the most profound acts of worship come in the form of service. When David saw a homeless man on the streets of California, instead of walking past, he chose to stop and offer a meal. This act of kindness was not just charity, it was an expression of love, a way to show God's heart to someone in need. Each time we engage in acts of compassion, we reflect a love of Jesus who spent His life serving others. As we gather these thoughts in our hearts, let us remember that every step we take in worship invites God to bless our day. It opens doors to joy, peace, and divine encounters that we might not have anticipated. Worship is not confined to the walls of a church. It extends into our workplaces, homes, and communities. It becomes a lens through which we see the world, highlighting God's fingerprints in the ordinary and extraordinary moments of our lives. So, as we prepare for the day ahead, let us commit to a lifestyle of worship. Let us fill our hearts with adoration for our God, recognizing that He walks with us in every moment. May our lives be a song of praise, echoing through our words and actions. And may we continuously seek opportunities to reflect His love, ready to bless others as we have been blessed. Together, let's embrace each day as a canvas of worship, painting our lives with acts of love, kindness, and unwavering faith. As we come near to the end of our time together,
Let us gather our hearts in a universal prayer that transcends any boundaries, uniting us in the love and grace of God. We close our eyes and open our spirits to the presence of the Lord, acknowledging that He is with us, guiding us through each step we take. Dear God, we come before you with thankful hearts, recognizing your goodness and grace in our lives. We thank you for the ways you bless us, even in the small moments, like the warmth of the sun on our faces in California, the gentle breeze on a summer evening in Texas, or the laughter shared with friends in New York. You are the thread that weaves our lives together, and we are grateful for your unending love. As we reflect on the beauty of creation, we are reminded of the words found in Psalm 100, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands." In everything we do, let us remember to bring joy to God through our worship and actions. Let us cultivate an attitude of gratitude, as Mary and John did when they shared their blessings with others, illustrating that through worship we can inspire and uplift those around us. Let your Spirit fill our hearts with adoration, that we may not only sing praises, but also live lives that honor you. Help us to see each day as a fresh opportunity to worship you, to love and to serve, knowing that in doing so, we reflect your glory. In this time of worship, let us also affirm our shared beliefs with the Credo. We believe in a loving God who created us in His image, who walks with us daily. We believe that Jesus is the light of the world, guiding us through our darkest moments. We believe that the Holy Spirit empowers us to love and serve one another, reminding us that we are never alone. We believe that through worship, we find connection with each other and with you, Lord. Let these beliefs be the foundation upon which we build our lives, encouraging us to demonstrate love and kindness in all we do. What we learn in this sacred moment of prayer is profound. We learn that worship is more than just singing, it is a lifestyle. It is in the way we treat our neighbors, how we show kindness to strangers, and how we cherish our families. Emily, who volunteers at a local shelter in Florida, embodies this idea of worship in action. Every time she shares a meal with someone in need, she is worshiping God through her love and compassion. It reminds us that when we extend our hands in service, we are participating in something much bigger than ourselves. We are participating in the work of God. As we prepare to conclude, I want to remind you that there are 2 more prayers appearing on your screen. I invite you to choose one to continue this chain of devotion and love. Each prayer is a moment to connect with God and with each other, a reminder that we are part of a larger family of faith. Don't walk this journey alone. Join us in building a community grounded in worship and support. Your participation is not just a click, it's a step towards creating a life filled with purpose and connection. We are grateful for your presence today. Thank you for joining us and for opening your heart to this time of worship. As you go about your day, may you carry this spirit of adoration with you. May you be like David, dancing with joy in the presence of the Lord, sharing that joy with everyone around you. For all who have watched this video, I extend a heartfelt blessing. May God bless João and Maria and all who are part of our family with peace, hope, and love. May you find joy in every step you take and grace in every moment you live. As we close, I leave you with this thought. May you feel the warmth of God's embrace, and may you shine His light in the world. Go forth in peace, knowing that you are loved and cherished. As we gather our hearts and minds in this sacred space, let's take a moment to reflect on the beauty of community and the strength we find in one another. Each of us carries stories filled with trials, triumphs, and testimonies of faith that bind us together. Just like the early disciples who walked with Jesus, we too have the privilege of sharing our journeys. In times of struggle, let us lean on each other, offering prayers and support as we navigate life's challenges together. Remember the words of Jesus in Matthew 18:20, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them." As we unite our voices in prayer,
We invite His presence to fill our hearts and homes. Let this be a reminder that we are never alone. Christ walks beside us in every season of life. So, as we go about our days, may we strive to be vessels of His love. Whether in our homes in Texas, by the beaches of Florida, or amidst the bustling streets of New York, let's embody the essence of Christ in our interactions. Let us show kindness to neighbors, patience to loved ones, and extend grace to those who cross our paths. As we reflect on our blessings, may we also seek to be blessings to others, sharing hope and light wherever we find ourselves. Remember, the world is in need of the love we carry.